She hit her with the Vulcan nerve press. I was like, oh, no, she did not do the captain like that. She did not. She did the captain like that. Oh, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Poetry. You have come to My Twisted Life with Poetry, where I do TV show reviews, random weight loss vlogs, sometimes a little travel vlog, sometimes a little family vlog. I do it all on this channel, but right now we're going to do Star Trek Discovery. This is the new Star Trek franchise. Started on CBS All Access last night. The first episode aired on regular TV. The rest of it is going to be on All Access. It's supposed to be 15 episodes this season. They're going to run the first 8, take a break in November, then come back in January with the last 7. That's what I heard. Alright, so this first episode is called The Vulcan. Hello. Let me start off saying I am not a Trekkie, although I am a Star Trek fan. What's the difference? I cannot tell you every little nuance of Star Trek episodes. I don't know who is whose father, who they baby, who killed what in the last episode, who did this, that, and the third in the book. That's not what I'm here for. I know what I watch on the episode that I watch. So that's what I'm going to go with. I may make a few comparisons, like starting off first with the way that the Klingons look. Totally different. And they look more gruesome and more animalistic. The last Klingons look kind of more like the Planet of the Apes type of people. But you can actually understand them. So I wonder at some point in the time during the season, are we going to start understanding their dialogue? Or are we going to only get Klingon through the whole episode? So, yeah. So let's get started. This is a recap / review, which means I'm going to talk about the whole show as it happened. That's how I do it around here. Leave your comments below in the comments section. Like, comment, share, subscribe is the thing. Hit the notification bell if you like any videos around this channel. I do a lot of other stuff, other TV shows as well. Just go to my channel, check them out, look at the playlist and see all what I'm doing. So let's start off with the new age Klingon. Like I said, they look totally different, but the cinematics on this season are super nice to me. Like, for real, it kind of reminded me of Asgard, and I was waiting on Thor and Loki to step out at any moment. And that's not a bad thing. I thought that was pretty good. The Klingons, the first dude, Takuru, I think that's his name. He's a English actor. I want to say his real name is Obi something, but I can't remember. They never really said his name either, but he gonna be like one of the main, I can't even say he the bad guy. He just one of the guys that's out here, you know, rebelling against the Federation. Let's put that like that. Gonna do anything for his people left and right. He worshiped Kalas. I think I remember Kalas from the old Star Trek shows. But yeah, that's what he worships, Kalas. Let me start off by saying the fact that this show is so diverse is off the chain. I already see the haters who don't want to talk about race, who racist themselves, what have you, already coming out the woodwork. They would rather see us be unified with the Vulcans, or they'd rather see us be unified with the Klingons than to have black women in control on the show, or Asian women, or women period in control on the show. And just from the live tweeting last night on Twitter, I guess that's where you tweet at, the live tweeting, the comments that was in response to all the proud moments that we as black women that was watching the show. It's a whole black sci-fi girl community out there, y'all. Okay, and when you're watching this show, Black Nerd Problems created the hashtag #OnFleet, like on fleet, but on fleet, FLEET. So if you hashtag that, or you hashtag Star Trek Discovery, you was able to see all the live tweets from last night. Being it's on CBS Access now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to still do that. We'll still talk about it weekly, but episode 2 is already online, and I'm going to watch that already. I'm not going to wait till Sunday. Like I said, it's 2 women of color in charge on the show. Starts off with my girl, badass Michelle Yeoh. Martial arts queen, love her. She's playing Philippa Georgiou. She's the captain. Our resident Vulcan is none other than veteran from The Walking Dead, Sonequa Martin, whose name is Michael Burnham on the show. She is number 1. I was like, 2 women of color, yo. I was tuning in just for that. I'm gonna let you know right now. Especially on a legendary sci-fi series such as this, like, what? The whole cast, like I said, the whole cast is diverse, especially aboard the USS Shinju. They even got the name. It's just Shinju. Takuru, I think that's his name. Obi's character, the leader of the Klingons. I call him Spittle. So, like I said, if you watch any of my other reviews, you know I give people names. He is Spittle because he talked with so much spit on his tongue. So let's hop into this review. I've been talking about 5 minutes and 53 seconds already when we get to the review. So, Thick Spittle is assembling the Klingons with the hopes of uniting the 24 houses. But he's stating that the only way to avoid total destruction and total loss of lives of our people is to come in peace. And I'm like, something don't sound right about that. Something don't sound right at all. Michael and Georgiou, I'm going to call Georgiou by her last name instead of Philippa. Michael, I like to call her Michael instead of number 1. They are on a planet where an alien race is in threat of, I guess, that dehydration if they don't help them locate this wheel. So it appears that they lost. And Georgiou was like, hey, girl, where we at? And she was like, don't worry, I got this, you know. I know exactly where I'm going on. So they're going, having a conversation about whether or not they should trust each other's judgment. They're going back and forth with that. They stumble upon the well. She said, I told you. She's like, I never had a doubt in you, girl. I never had a doubt. She was an anthropologist, if that was correct, Michael. Such a big word that I can't even spell, and I'm a writer. But she was an anthropologist, something like that. I was like, look at that, throwing out these degrees, baby, throwing them out. They blow the well up. Out comes water. But there's a storm approaching, and this storm is moving in fast. Michael's like, look, we need to get out of here. We need to move quickly. If that storm comes in, it's going to give us too much cover, and we ain't going to be able to be found. Georgia was like, come on, follow me. And she's like, what you mean follow you? So now they are here walking around, and I'm learning that if this storm hits, they may be stranded there for 89 years. It's an 89-year storm. I was like, what in the hell? Okay. While, like I said, while they're talking, they're basically displaying to us their level of trust in one another, how they like value each other's opinions, how smart they are, the background on how long they've been working together. They said it's been 7 years that they had been together. Georgiou tells Michael, you know what? You've been working for me for 7 years. I think it's time that you lead your own command. And she was like, I will be honored if we ever get off this planet. We got off the planet, girl. She had them be walking around in like a little circle. Not really even a circle. It's just a symbol of the Federation. So that way the ship could find a star, because they needed a star to be detected, right? They get called back on the ship. They get called to investigate some space debris. It like something exploded, had damaged one of their relays, knocked one of their relays out, and they started back on the ship. And Zorua is the chief science officer who doubts everything. He doubts it all. He like, look, I don't know if this happened naturally, but for my best guess, somebody sabotaged us. They did this on purpose. I think it's time for us to go. And Michael was like, look, don't guess. Finish your little scans and come back with some scientific facts. That's what you're supposed to do. You get a scientific engineer or a scientific officer, whatever, you know. So she goes to Georgiou and say, hey, look, Zorua saying that this is set up and somebody did this on purpose. She thinks that our tech is too good for that, you know, but something ain't adding up, because usually if somebody did this kind of attack, or, you know, somebody been rushing in and cleaning stuff up to fix something or whatever, and that ain't happening. So she's like, somebody trying to get our attention, and if that's what they wanted to get, they got it, right? They reconvene with Zorua and talks to him about his suspicions, and everybody is shocked that Zorua and Michael agree. Apparently they don't agree on nothing. They argue about every little thing, every little small detail. They debate about it. I ain't even say argue, they debate to the fullest. Zorua is the scary one, so to speak. He thinks that we should turn away from everything. He thinks everything is malicious. Everybody always out trying to get him. But like I said, Michael agrees with him this time. And Georgiou is like, hey, y'all take note in the star date somewhere in the logs, because we may not ever get another moment like this. And Michael was like, really? Really? The sarcasm ain't funny. So George would say, oh yeah, but it is. It is. I love their dynamic together. I do. Zorua detected that there was something else out there, but they were having such an issue locking in on it and identifying what it was. So Zorua was like, whatever it is, it's definitely checking us out. It's lurking like it's on Facebook. It's lurking and lurking. So Michael said, we see something that we don't understand, and we automatically gonna pass judgment. And I'm like, let me stop right here and say this. The way this show addresses race, colorism, culture in such a subtle but in your face way is freaking genius. Freaking genius. I know the original writer of the show is no longer with it, and it was his purpose to have so much diversity and race talk and culture talk within the show. And he wrote the first 2 episodes, and awesome job in the way that he just broke down racism and colorism and diversity all in this episode. I mean, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, even the Klingons have a member that has albinism. Albinism, is that the correct to say? People say albino, but albino is not a person. That's a condition. So we're going to talk about them again soon. So anyway, Zorua was like, you know what? Let's leave this alone. Michael volunteers to do a flyby. She want to go check out the debris. And Zorua was like, what the heck? What that's going to gain us? So she said, look, you do understand that by doing nothing, you learn nothing. Georgia was like, well, you know what? Both of y'all go then. Michael and Zorua do not want to be together. Like, hell to the no. So Michael was like, no, And Zorua was like, I ain't mad at that. Bye, girl, gone. Now, he did not want to go traipsing around out in space looking for some gunk that he said leave alone in the first doggone place. So Michael going on her own with the threat of no communication, possibly losing signal, and she got to be back within 20 doggone minutes because of the radiation exposure. So I'm like, no, girl, no. Come back, nigga, come back. This is how I'm feeling about it. So at first, she was out there in her suit, all suited up and booted up. And she was breathing so hard. And I was like, she sounded like Sasha was when she was in that coffin on The Walking Dead. I swear to goodness. But then she was off. Skyrocketing through space, flying through the debris and everything. Her comms go bad, like they told her it was gonna happen. It's a lot of scatter of debris all over the place. The resolution degrades, but she jets on and she jets on until she comes upon what appears to be an object that is definitely not debris. She goes and she radios back to the ship, but again, no communication. She can't hear nothing, and everything is still scrambled. So she activates her internal suit. You know, put the computer on, let's record this, let's document it like we're supposed to do. And because she want to be able to capture everything she's seeing. And with time running out, she decides to go ahead and explore a little further. And she comes upon the object, and she is like amazed at its structure, at its architecture, at the carvings that's on it. And she's like, the best way I can describe this is like, wow, that's the best way I can describe it. And she was like, it appears to be centuries old. I should say centuries years old. That didn't make no sense, centuries year. But it appears to be centuries old. And I'm like, girl, fly on, fly on. She decides to dock on this doggone structure, this thing. I was like, no, fly by, Michael, not land on. That's not what we're trying to do. What is you doing, girl? What is you doing? I mean, she got me sounding like Zorua right now. And she trying to still go boldly go where no other man, or woman in this case, has gone before. But when she docks and lands, she seems to trigger some type of motion response. I'm like, oh my God, girl, go back to the ship. Go back. But oh no, something, or shall I say someone, approaches. She got her little scan on, and she realized it's a motherfucker Klingon, baby. That mug strike her. I think it looked like she struck him back, and then all of a sudden she flying her butt through space. I was like, what the heck is going on? The crew, they looking at the time, you know, she didn't have that many minutes to be out there, and when she decided to dock, she only had like 12 minutes left. So now they can't get a lock on her signal. Georgia was like, hey, Zorua, damn mosquito. Oh my God. Like, Zorua, you better find a doggone signal. She offline, she flying free, radiation free, and she's out there floating around in space. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So, back with the Klingons and they little crypt. I call it the crypt. Spittle throat. Mad as a hatter, baby. He's mad as a hatter. He's like, you know what? Our boy got killed by a little Federation interloper on our sacred ground. How very, very dare them. Now, it's time to strike back. I was like, uh-oh. They done started it now. So then we get a flashback to Michael as a little youth, struggling with the emotions of her human side. And I was like, she's a little bit, oh, she's a little Vulcan. Oh. I don't even know it's the right hand, but I can't do it with this hand. Is it that way? I don't know. I can do it. I just can't do it with this hand. My fingers just don't want to act right. Anywho, so she all covered up and radiation burns, and she, what in the flam fabricaster? Let it come back around me again. We had to let him. It was a mosquito in her biting me up all night, and now I see it, and it ain't dead yet, and it keep attacking me. So it must be a pregnant mosquito. Y'all know pregnant mosquitoes are the one that keep attacking and coming back at you over and over again because they're trying to feed their babies. So they're the only ones that suck your blood. Even though male mosquitoes bite you, it's the female mosquitoes that suck your blood. I'm just saying. Give y'all a little education right there. So my girl is covered in radiation burns. She wake up and realize that she been on board the ship for like 3 hours. Hop up off the table in the med bay. She rushes back to the bridge and she tell him, red alert, people. The Klingons are coming. The Klingons are coming. The Klingons are coming. All right. So Georgia was like, girl, calm down. Klingons ain't been seen around here in about 100 years. Michael like, not until today. I know what I see. So she looking at Georgia like, you trust me or not? Georgia say, all right, y'all, red alert, everybody. She explains what happened on the object, and she warns, like, there may be others. Zorua was like, wait, what? Others? No, we need to get the heck out of here. What you talking about? Georgia turned to him and say, look here, the USS Shenzhou, baby, in Federation space, we don't retreat. No, that's not an option for us. So whatever it is, we need to show his face. That's how Georgia feeling right now. So Michael say, look, target the object. And he like, what you mean target out? She said, no, we're not going to fire. We just want to appear like we are, you know. But as soon as they do that, something scans them. Then out of nowhere, Klingon ships just dropped in. No warp signal detected, nothing like that. I'm like, oh, baby, it's on now. It's on now. So, like, they attempt to make contact with the Klingon ship. And Spittlethroat is like, you know what? The time is now. The person that got killed was a Rajak. And he's like, well, who is his successor? Who gonna step up to the plate? Come forth. So his brother Auric steps up and he's like, you know what? He's giving his brother stead, you know, you the new torchbearer. And he's like, I don't want that. You want us to go to war over a college fable? Nah, bro, I ain't gonna do that. Spittle was like, you gonna dishonor the name? What? So from the back of the room, Vok steps up. He's the Klingon with the albinism that I was talking about, right? So he says, I am Vok, the son of no one. He's like, oh boy's like, look, Spittle's like, you know what? You ain't got no right to be a forsaken claim to the royal house of anything. You ain't worthy, son of nobody. He said, boy, he didn't say boy. He said, I am worthy. Not by my blood, but by faith. He stuck his hand and doggone fire burnt off his hand like he little Joan of Arc and everything. And I was like, what is going on? What's going on your doggone skin like that? But I was like, okay, something ain't right with you. Something ain't right with you, Vok. But I already see you're going to be the one that I love to hate. If I hate him at all, sometimes I'm the person that likes the rebellious people. And the Federation are not the rebels. The Klingons in this case are the rebels in this case. Because like, they just want to be left alone. They want to live their lives the way that they've been living, and you know, but you killed one of mine on my sacred ground. You come onto these lands and kill us, and you expect us to sit down and be quiet about it? Okay. Anywho, Spittle walks up to Vok and is like, okay, you know what? You look like a man that's been out in the world. You had a hard time. Had to stop a minute. You had a hard time, you know, being accepted, and you just want to be a part of something. He said, you know, others may look at you and see the color of your skin, but I look at you and I see a mirror. and I see myself staring right back at me. I was like, see, message, we all are one. We are the same person. Are we? Like, some about same people getting on my motherfucking nerves right now, but still. Okay, anywho. So then the Shinju, USS Shinju, moves in a little closer to them, right? And they pass the torch over to Vulcan and say, light the beacon, brother, light it up. So the crew still trying to reach out to them, but they ain't getting no responses. And Zorua has Michael look at the breakdown of the ship, and like he senses decay and everything, and they realize that the entire ship is covered with coffins. And I guess that's what Spittle meant when he said that, you know, our ancestors go forth, they're going to mixing in with the rest of the bloods and the spirits and whatever, and they're going to all come back and fight with us. So they all on the ship. They must be rejuvenating because he mummified. Oh my God, I can't talk. He mummified Rajak. So Rajak probably going to come back because I don't see no purpose for us to even know his doggone name. Zorua say, look here, Michael. Yo people, y'all on this food chain type of thing. My people were basically slaves. We were bred for one thing, and it was to sense death. And I feel it coming. I feel it coming. I feel it coming, babe. And Juju is like, she go in there and speak to the Admiral. She downloads him on what's going on and where they at with the Klingons and just out in the orbit. And the Admiral say, look, this sounds like a setup to me. Michael then joins them, and he tells her, look, next time, try not to disturb any type of sacred ground with the warrior race that has been dormant for over 100 doggone years. And he turns to Georgia and say, look, we need to handle this with some type of grace. So Michael say, with all due respect, sir, these dudes are relentlessly hostile. The only way to handle them is with battle, not with grace. It's because it's in their nature. And Admiral say, we ain't never liked them, they ain't never liked us. We ain't had to get busy with them but a couple times in the last 100 years. You got one doggone interaction with them, and you think you know them because it's in their nature? And considering your background and your race, I would think that you would know better to say anything about some crap like that about race. And she snapped back and like, look, I think you would know better to not confuse race with culture. I was like, oh snap. I see what you did there, Star Trek. I see what you did. This episode, I was like, oh, get them, Star Trek, get them. If you cannot see the race talk, the culture talk, colorism talk in this here episode and understand the messages that are coming for them, something ain't right with you. You just don't want to. You just don't want to. Turn your light on. Turn your light on, wake up, and smell the doggone coffee. This episode, though, was lit. Admiral turns to Georgia and say, look, I said stand down. Don't make no moves and until you give an order to do so. So she tells Zorua, like, you know what? Let's get up out of here. Georgia goes over some options, and no, she tells her that Michael comes in and tells Georgia that Zorua wants to get up out of there. And Georgia goes over some options with Michael, like, okay, you know what? I see you being diplomatic in this situation with that one, but the soldier in you, what would she do? You know what I'm saying? So I cannot wait to see a fight scene from Michelle Yeoh. And hopefully they do it in her style of fighting, because she's straight badass for real. If they don't give us one, I'm going to be so disappointed. You just don't understand how disappointed I'm going to be. Like, you don't have Michelle Yeoh as a lead actress on a show just for her acting, in my opinion. She need to fight. That's what she does best. Anywho, she's like, you know, the soldier in me, it ain't saying nothing good. So right then, a bright ass light, screeching noise surrounds and fills up the ship. And they determine it may be the stress call for no more backup and stuff like that. I mean, why not? They did it. So then she goes and talks. She said, you know what, excuse me, I need to get out of here. And she goes and talks to her damn adopted daddy, Zarek. I was like, right now in the middle of a Klingon invasion, possible, girl, what is you doing? But I guess she needed some fatherly advice. And he like, you know, you still in your feelings, girl. Get about your feelings. She's like, I killed one of them. He said, well, since they killed your parents, you know, I'm going to call it fair, you know. He said, but, you know, they have been in disarray for years. But I guess in the strength of conflict, you know, anything is possible. Michael say, oh, they're trying to start a war. That's what they're trying to do. Zerek's like, look here. Don't let your past drive your assumptions. It should say this is about here and now. It has nothing to do with the past. He said you cannot save lives that's already been lost. Message. Do you hear the messages through this bug? Michael come back and tell Judge, fire on them with everything. Set it the freak off. And she say, I certainly will not. They haven't done anything to us. They have not posed a threat. And Michael say, they themselves, they the threat. All this blackness, that's the threat. Anywho, their actions are inevitable. That's what she tell her. So Jojo say, you know what? I don't know why you don't see it, but baby, we are outgunned. Don't get beside yourself. So Michael say, many moons ago, we in a space. As soon as we enter in the space, we enter the Klingon space. They just fired upon us at will, killed everybody. They didn't wait for small talk, and from that point on, every time that we encountered them, until we came to some type of diplomatic solution, we struck first. We learned to never make the same mistake twice. We said hello, invoke it in the only way we understand. Violence demands respect, and respect brought peace. Hello. So Michael says, let me remind you of who I am and who my achievements are, what my achievements are. And with that, don't challenge me again, or we were going to be dragged into war. And Georgia said, who do you think you're talking to? In my ready room right now. So Zorua, you got the bridge. So back in the ready room, Georgia was like, how dare you challenge me, riling up the doggone crew, destabilizing them and everything. And Michael's like, you know what? I am so sorry, but they are ready for battle. Don't underestimate them. Georgia said, I understand your history with Klingons, but you are going to endanger lives, and we ain't going to have nothing but a lot of bloodshed and funerals. It's going to be on your doggone hands. So Michael's like, my past ain't got nothing to do with this, but we need to cut them off at the head. And either that, more lives going to be lost, including yours. So Georgia said, stand down and have some water. Oh my God. Then she hit her with the Vulcan nerve press. Oh, she did not do the captain like that. She did not. She did captain like that. Oh, I wasn't ready. She came back in like ready to take over, boy. She set it up, says Zorua. Bounce. He like, did the captain tell you to do this? This don't sound right. She like, boy, don't question me. I am your superior. We in dire straits. Question my chain of command again, and you gonna be up out of here. Okay, so he like, I'm just saying, your blood pressure all up, I can sense it and everything. Your breathing all ready. Something don't seem copacetic with what you're saying. Girl, you sweating, you're messing up your edges and everything. I was like, I think you're lying. This is a mutiny. Right when she was about to say, fire those dogs or torpedoes, Georgie walks in and relays the order. Whoo! And then she aimed her gun at Michael. She said, look, girl, don't make me use this. I'm loving you like a friend. Don't make me set it off up in here. Now all of a sudden, the bright light disappears, draws everybody's attention. And then more Klingon ships just drop out of space. Boy, it was more of them than stars out in the sky. I was like, And that was the first episode of Star Trek Discovery. I'm going to try my goodness, y'all, to keep these videos cut down to like 20-25 minutes. I just had a lot to say in the beginning because this was our first episode. I want to thank y'all again for coming back to my channel. Please comment about this episode down in the comment section. Anything that you had to say about the comments that I made, about the videos themselves, put them in the comment section. Be respectful. I will block the fuck out of your ass after I call you back, after and cuss you out if you're not being respectful in the comment section. There's a way to disagree with people without being disrespectful. So, I said, peace. Was it that way? I don't know. Might be that way. I don't know.